It all started when I was in the car and I heard a Dolly Parton speaking. And I said to myself, this is a no-brainer. Giving out books to kids for free is a no-brainer.
Harold was like a traveling salesman with a briefcase full of books, and he would go talk to anybody who would listen.
Before PJ Library, there wasn't a music distribution or a Jewish book distribution that was in the realm of what we saw when PJ Library started distributing music and books.
I think a turning point was when people started to receive books and experience this program. Time and again we've heard, oh, now I see how this resonates with my kids and my grandkids. This is brilliant. I didn't understand it first. And so I think as more and more people saw the benefit of PJ Library in their homes, it crystallized.
We were doing 200 books. And I remember the gal who was running the foundation at the time, she wanted us to stay put for a whole year locally. And I said, no way, this is a hot one.
I remember receiving like packages from my synagogue and stuff, like once a month or whatever, and opening it up to like a new book and then sitting down immediately to read it with my mom. And with PJ Library, I learned more about Jewish holidays and it gave me more in-depth connection.
I mean, it's what got me into reading. Like, these books would arrive and I would read them. Well, I would have my parents read them to me, like, hundreds of times.
So why don't you ask Mr. Grinspoon why he gives all those books away to children like you?
Why?
Because I love children like you. I love you and your mommy and daddy, and it's so nice to bring some kind of a wonderful Jewish story into your house. That's why I do it.
I've had teenagers come up to me and ask me to play the Rainbow Song, which is a little kid song from one of my albums many years ago, but they're part of what I call Generation PJ. This music was in all of their homes. And so they share this in common, and it's sort of like a miracle, but it's also exactly what Harold Grinspoon had in mind when he started PJ Library, that there'd be a whole generation or many generations of children that would grow up with this kind of connection through books and music, and mission accomplished.
It was really like important to me because with every book, it's like there's a Jewish connection. And so it made me feel more connected to what I was reading, and it allowed me to have like a deeper connection to the characters and to the story. And PJ Library really showed me that it's like possible to see myself in a book.
PJ Library was my Jewish identity. It hit so close to home and it was so nice because it was like, oh my gosh, that's me.
It's nice to have books that talk about our religion and what it's like to be us and, you know, to be kids and have the holidays and the festivals and the traditions.
I don't know if a lot of people like the same book as me, but it's probably a lot of people my age like the same books I read and could relate to the same things that I related to. So it's pretty weird and awesome.
So the idea that PJ Library is giving away, it's like 50 million books, is insane. To think about all those Jewish kids, Jewish teens like me, that have grown up with that experience over the years.
The milestone of a 50 millionth book being distributed is, one, mind-blowing. But beyond that, it shares a sense of we can do this, that we can do things on a big level, that we can make the kinds of big changes that we need to make sure that Judaism is meaningful for future generations.
I would just love to thank everyone who takes that time to light up these children's days. Little me could be having the worst day in the world and get a PJ Library book, and that's what turns my day around. That brought me so much joy.
Well, we get thank you notes all the time. And now that PJ Library programs exist in more than 30 countries, we hear these wild stories about a family that, part of the family is living in Russia and part of the family has immigrated to the US. And somebody in the US says, there's this program I wish you could experience. It's called PJ Library. And they say, PJ Library? My children get PJ Library. And then we realize that families are having this experience literally across the globe.
Hi, everyone. I have a quick question. Can you raise your hand if you received PJ Library books as a kid?
Just a huge thank you to everyone who has participated in this miracle called PJ Library.
If Harold Grinspoon walked into my house right now, I would give him a huge hug and just thank him. Because he's brought so much joy to so many children. It's wonderful.